got it. That's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. When up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up. Can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Get drown out my problems, let me When up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
A fight for the right to be number one. It's the coach. This is the 2021 season on EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's a battle of the top two teams in the AFC West, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. He'll drop to throw. Airing it out for Hamilton. And got his man complete. 36 yards on the play. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Set and over. Let's go! Snap!
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back to throw. Letting one go. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And they'll have a short field to go as this drive starts on the fringe of the red zone at the 20.
Don't get nervous. Ready?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Watch the slap. Go.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Noah Fant with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now Walton. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Mahomes now on first down. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. The numbers for Travis Kelsey last week. 5 catches, 64 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. On 2nd down, it's Walton, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Fights through, and now a crease. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Phillip Lindsay with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now 14-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Bradley Chubb, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Walton. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And it'll be a short short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
53, Mike 53. Yeah.
Back to throw now on first down. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. JASOn Hamilton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Here's Mahomes to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded just inside the 30. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Coming out now, the Broncos. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it's caught. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's 2nd and 8. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. It's their quarterback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now McManus for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Time now for Patrick Mahomes as we put him in our players' spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Mahomes now to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Bradley Chubb make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it is the Chargers out in front as those two creep towards halftime. Teddy Bridgewater with a touchdown pass. From there, we head up to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Deshaun Watson has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. 35-7 was your final in a one-sided affair. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To the right side, it's Kelce. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Ready.
On first and 10, it's Lindsey. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Got a man. That's complete to Hamilton. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Noah Fant, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. McManus now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. Certainly worth noting he's now one catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. On play action, it's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Derek Wolfe in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They run the counter. Walton. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. Mahomes completes to his tight end. It's Kelsey. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They run again with Walton. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Yellow. Come on, 80.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Yellow, yellow.
Now Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. And Butker able to put this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He'll rifle this one deep right. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Zach Pascal, his 9th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this will be taken at the 13. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you.
And this is taken in at the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll set up to throw. Flush to it, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now McManus for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Mahomes going to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. That one looks like he'll throw here. Open man here is Hamilton. There he goes left side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Throwing now is Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Mahomes now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week.
And that's caught inside the 35. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They're going to look to throw. They'll rifle this one deep right, and this is taken in at the 5.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Broncos, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.